Imagine starting your day before the sun even rises, the air still cool and quiet, and a 2026 Ram 1500 waiting with that poised, ready stance that makes every job and every journey feel a little easier. The key turns and the engine settles into a confident hum, the kind that tells you there is strength on tap and refinement to match. You ease out onto the road, and the first thing you notice is how composed everything feels. The steering is steady and reassuring. The suspension smooths out the rough edges of broken pavement. The cabin is calm, almost hushed, like the world outside has been turned down a notch so you can focus on what matters. Walk around it and the truck looks athletic and modern. The hood lines are clean and purposeful, the grille bold without being brash, and the lighting crisp and precise with a signature glow that announces itself even from a distance. The bed rails are carved to make tie-down simple, and the tailgate feels intelligently weighted so it never slams and never fights you. The proportions are right, the stance is confident, and the details all work together to say this is a truck built to be used every day, not just admired from the driveway. Open the door and slide inside and it feels like a great pair of work boots that have been broken in just right, solid and supportive but surprisingly plush. Materials are inviting to the touch, with soft armrests and textured trim that looks handsome and wears well. The seats cradle you in all the ways you want on a long drive, with bolsters that hold you without pinching and foam that stays comfortable from the first mile to the last. Visibility is generous, aided by mirrors that are thoughtfully shaped and glass that lets in light without glare. You rest your hand on the wheel and the controls fall where you expect them, and the screen in the center stack wakes with a bright, sharp interface that is easy to read at a glance. Technology feels like an assistant that knows when to help and when to get out of the way. The navigation guidance is clear and responsive, voice control understands natural speech, and the truck pairs with a phone quickly and remembers your preferences without fuss. The audio system fills the cabin with clean sound, turning a commute into a small concert and a long haul into a comfortable listening session. Cameras give you eyes where you need them, whether you are backing a trailer toward a narrow gate, nudging close to a loading dock, or weaving through a tight parking garage with concrete pillars lurking on every corner. The digital display behind the wheel feeds you just the right information, from speed and range to towing data and off-road angles, presented in a way that feels intuitive even the first time you use it. Out on the highway the truck tracks straight and true. Lane keeping takes the edge off long stretches and adaptive cruise leaves you fresher at the end of the day. The engine pulls with a confident surge when you need to pass, and settles into a quiet lope when you just want to cover ground. Wind noise is low, road noise is well suppressed, and the ride has that satisfying balance where weight and control join forces to flatten out expansion joints and shrug off patched asphalt. You step out hours later and realize you are not as tired as you expected, and it dawns on you that this is what real refinement feels like in a working vehicle. Point the nose down a dirt road and the chassis feels planted and predictable. The suspension takes washboard ripples without rattling your teeth, and the truck seems to breathe with the surface rather than fight it. Grip is consistent and the throttle is easy to modulate, so you can crawl through ruts or pick up speed across a pasture with the same feeling of control. The underside is protected in the places that matter and the approach and departure angles let you climb over obstacles without drama. Hill descent control steps in like a careful spotter, holding you steady on loose slopes, and the traction systems find purchase when one wheel lightens over a rock or ridge. It is capable in the ways that build trust, not just numbers on a page, and that confidence changes how you plan your routes and your work. Hook up a trailer and the truck settles into the role like it was born for it. The hitch lines up easily with guidance from the camera, the wiring connects with solid clicks, and the truck's electronics recognize the load and help you dial in the braking feel you want. Acceleration is measured and controlled, with enough torque to move weight without straining, and the cooling systems keep temperatures in check even on hot afternoons or long grades. On downhill stretches the powertrain and brakes work together to hold speed without constant pedal input, leaving your right foot relaxed and your nerves calm. Stability is a word you can feel in your hands and back, a quiet assurance that the combination behind you is behaving exactly as it should. When it is time to get work done in the bed, the details show that someone paid attention to the way people actually use a truck. High-strength tie points are exactly where your straps want to be. The bed surface is tough enough to take punishment from cinder blocks and toolboxes, yet the edges and corners are finished cleanly so they do not snag tarps or rope. Clever storage solutions keep everyday gear from sliding around, and there is room for the awkward stuff that never seems to fit anywhere. The tailgate opens and closes smoothly, and the step in height makes hopping up easy whether you are in work boots or running shoes. Day-to-day life brings little touches that make a big difference. Remote start gets the climate right before you climb in. The heated and ventilated seats take the sting out of winter mornings and summer afternoons. The rear seats offer real space for passengers who are not just along for the ride, with legroom that lets adults sit comfortably and seat backs that are angled for actual relaxation. Under-seat storage keeps valuables out of sight and tools within reach. The cabin has the right mix of open bins and covered compartments, so sunglasses, receipts, snacks, and gadgets each find a natural home. Safety systems act like a second set of senses. Forward alerts watch traffic and nudge your attention when the situation changes suddenly. Blind zone monitors are like an extra glance over your shoulder every time you merge. The braking assistants step in with speed and precision if the unexpected happens, and the structure is built to manage energy away from occupants when physics comes calling. These are the kind of features you hope you never need, but you feel better having them on your side every mile you drive. Fuel stops come less often than you expect for a vehicle with this much capability. Smart engine management and efficient gearing let the truck cruise with surprising thrift when you are light and unladen, yet the power is there the moment you need to carry a load or pass with authority. If your daily rhythm mixes city streets with open highway and the occasional muddy side road, the truck adapts without complaint. It never feels like you are asking it to be something it is not. Instead, it feels like it is always ready to be exactly what you need. At the end of a long week, the 2026 Ram 1500 wears its miles lightly. The cabin still feels fresh, the seats still feel supportive, and the exterior still looks sharp after adventures and errands. It is a partner you start to count on, the dependable constant that makes big plans possible and everyday chores simpler. You learn the exact pressure on the throttle that slips you into traffic smoothly. You learn the feel of the brake pedal when the bed is loaded and when it is empty. You learn that the navigation's fastest route is usually the smartest one, and that the backup camera grid lines are more accurate than your memory. All of it adds up to a truck that becomes an extension of your habits and your ambitions. And that is the heart of it. A great truck does more than move things from place to place. It widens your options. It lets you say yes to the job that seemed too heavy, the trip that seemed too long, the road that seemed too rough. The 2026 Ram 1500 brings power with polish, toughness with comfort, intelligence with simplicity. It feels strong when the day demands muscle, quiet when you need a break, and capable when the plan changes in the middle of the afternoon. You turn the key in the evening and the engine winds down, the lights fade, and the truck rests with the same steady confidence it had at sunrise, ready to do it all again tomorrow.